Okay, so I changed it. I put just another paper back underneath here that I previously used. And then I folded this in half so that I can have a clean slate of what we're about to do here. So I brought out some, this is burnt umber acrylic paint. And we've got our fluffy modeling paste here. We've got some tools, and if you don't have any of these tools, you can use one of these. And then I also brought out some of the aqua green, and this one is called Key West in the Apple Barrel 21481, and this is Artist Loft Level 1 Aqua Green. So these are going to be like the like greenish parts of the book. So let me see if I can show you again. There we go.
Everyone, I have finished on.
So these like green, like I forget what it's called, tarnish look. We're gonna recreate that on the edges and make it look pretty cool. So yeah. But I remember the last time I did it with regular white gesso. So like, or not gesso, regular white paste, which this is white too, but we could mix it with the colors and put it in there. But when I did it last time with just white and then painted it, it became like flaky, and if it flaked off, then you could see the white part of it. So I didn't like that, and I did fix it on the other book by putting the glue part on the outside, which I'll do in this book too. But I think it's better, instead of me like working double, to just start off with a good color first. So I'm going to make sure you can see that on the side here. I am just mixing some paste. I'm gonna grab some more because we'll be doing a good amount. I'm gonna close it again because I don't want it to dry out. And then I'm gonna add the brown to this. I'm not sure how much, so I'm just doing that amount. And then I'm just going to mix it. So that way if it like flakes off, I don't have to go and repaint it again, and it was just a lot of work. So I'm trying to make it easier on myself and for you guys to just color the acrylic, the paste with acrylic is what I'm saying. So I think I'm going to add a little bit more to make it darker. Probably could add some black maybe, but we'll see how this goes. Sure it's all good and alright. I think I'm satisfied with that. So I took off all my rings. Oh well, I didn't take off all my rings. I now took off all my rings. And we are just going to line this up like that. This is going to be the difficult part. So because we need to cover all of these, and they need to be like, you'll see. So we're just going to grab a little bit and go down with it. Oops, just got some on my fingernails. Probably should be wearing gloves too. Pause. I'm gonna do a real quick pause because I gotta wash my hands. Okay, so I found these gloves, so I'll just use these gloves. Grab a little bit more and just kind of fill in all of the, you really don't need that much. A lot goes a long way. All copacetic there. Lift it, and this, it's okay if it like gets underneath because we are going to fix that, but we're gonna hold this kind of like that and kind of just try to get it as nice as we can. Another way would be like to do one of these first and then like skip to the other one, but I guess I'm not that smart, so we're gonna do it this way. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to move this aside and come and get this done over here. Like I said, it's okay if it gets like brown on the inside too, because we're going to fix that later. I'll just come in and do this one. I'm just wearing gloves if I didn't say already because I don't want to mess my nails up. Right? Edges. These edges are fine. So I'm just messing with this other one. I'm gonna go back and do this edge over here since that one's probably a lot more dry. We're just gonna hold it like so and kind of just come in like that. Clean up these. sticking out too badly. So we're gonna move this back over here. Do this one over here. That. Do this one. Kind of looks like a zebra right now, but it will be fine. Once we do like the other painting techniques to draw out the different levels of the modeling paste, it will look pretty cool. So we'll do this. Least we have this. Might need to make more paste. And that'll give some of the paste that we just did some drying time. Grab a new one because I don't want to get this paste all icky. Actually, I think that's pretty good. Pretty good amount. last part, you guys. There. Right. So now we've got to let this part dry, and then how do you get these gloves off? Okay. Let these stuff dry, and then I'm gonna wash this stuff, and then we'll come back. You want to make sure you wash all your parts real good so you don't ruin your cool art stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I will be right back. Hello, once again, ignore the background, I'm doing laundry. So this is dry now. Oh, I just did the extra on a piece of paper. So we have an extra now. So I grabbed some gold because I rewatched the video, and apparently I put gold in it, even though I can't really see the video that well. So we are just going to paint this on. Maybe this will do. Okay. So we're just gonna paint this black. I mean brown. This is the same brown we used to do this. But look at it, came out really good. Like it dried darker than it looked when we put it on. So that's good. And I'm just gonna put it on there. I'll brush it on. A lot more than that. Yeah, I'll probably always be doing laundry in the background. But yeah, look at it. It's looking like a door now. I'll just slip away. My gloves back up on this hand at least. Kind of just have to like rub it in between the grooves. There. Do a swirling motion. Get all the grooves there. And do the edges too, but let's get the edge done first. Sides. This brush is just from one of those value packs that you can get at Michael's or wherever. They just come in a big pack, I think for like $5. I think this is made in Indonesia. It's a 1-inch. Look at that. Just like to get the edges done so it's nice and edged. One more piece. Okay, so I'm still thinking about the dangly, like what, you know, I like put on a dangly on the side of the journal, like it would be like on this, hanging off of this one that we're painting right now. But yeah. We'll see when we get there how it'll look. I feel like I don't think it'll go with this. It went well with the corset, but I don't know if it'll go well with this. But we'll try it out. We'll make it look good, right? Yeah. Yes, we will. Alright. So we are just going to set this aside to dry, and then we'll come back to it later. It looks so much darker when it's almost dried, right? Burnt umber. That's what this is. Oakley dokley. Alright, so I'm gonna put this aside and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're gonna figure out the take two. We're gonna figure out the signature part, and I'm going to make it 8.5 tall, and the signature is actually 9 inches. So this is the signature template, and we made these earlier. We have the cover template, which is what we already did, and then we have the signature template, and then we have the paper template that goes on the signature. So we're going to use the signature template right now. And so when we're laying down our signatures in the book, we just need to make sure that it can attach properly and not like be all weird and hard to move around and stuff. So this part is 2.5 inches, the binding. So we have 2.5 inches, and we can't put a signature on either of those because then the book won't close. So we can put it as close as we can to it though, which is this next one right here. Oops. Yeah. That was right. Yeah. Which is this next one. Right? So here's 1, 2. Now we want 5 of them. So we're going to go and shoot for the middle, which looks about to be right here. Nope, right here. This looks about right. 3. And then we'll just do the middle between those two, which is 4 and 5. So we have one in at 1/4 inch. And then from the edge, we have one in at, I don't even know what this is, but it's not, it's almost 3/4 inch. Where's my measuring thingy? So I have this little measuring thing on the side to tell me what it is. So almost 3/4 inch would be 5/8. Oh wait, so this is the quarter part. It's in between the quarter. Yeah, that's 5/8. So this is 5/8. I can't bring it to you because all my pens are in there, but I would show you. But I just grabbed it off the internet, and it breaks down all the little inside parts of the ruler for in between that inch. So now we will get to, this is 1.25, and this is 1 3/4. And this one is 2 1/4. And there we go. We have where we're going to put our signatures in. But in between this 2.5, we're going to extend the edges, right? Because we want room to make sure that it's down here. So if we're going to add, let's see how much we're going to want it. We'll do 1 inch on either side. So we can make this, we'll just round this up to, let me see. We have 2.5 here, here, we have 1 inch there, and a little bit. So we're going to do 4.5, because that makes more sense. So if we do it at 1, there's 2.5. And then we have 1 inch there and 1 inch there. So we'll do 4.5. So this entire thing will be 4.5 long. But now we have to figure out how much we want the signature attachment to go up on here. I used to do 1/4 inch, but that's like not long enough. So I'm gonna do, let's see, I'm going to do 1/2 inch just to make it easier on myself. So I got to add 1/2 inch, so that would be 1 inch for each of these, right? Each of the signatures, because we need to fold it in half. Three-eighths, I think. It's not a quarter. That's a quarter. Yeah, so it's like 3/8 of an inch. Sorry about that. 3/8 of an inch. Between here and here. 3/8. Now, in between here and here, we have half plus another thing, so 5/8. This is 5/8. It's starting to match this cut. Doesn't look like it though, right? Oh, this is 5/8 over, so yeah, that's right. Alright, and then so this is 1/2 inch. And this is 1/2 inch. And obviously this is a quarter. There we go. We need those measurements. It's a lot of measuring. Alright, so we're doing, so that was the first signature. Now we need to do the leyland after that, which is 3/8 of an inch. And that would be here's a quarter, and then here's 3/8. You just add another little ding there. And this is where your first signature paper would be binded into. because we're doing the removable paper, so we're going to use elastic string on the back of here, or to like put the paper inside of it. So we have that. And now we need to do another 1/2 inch from there. This is getting difficult, so I'm just going to bring in my ruler. 1/2 inch would be right here. Where are you holding that? It's hard to see. Sorry, I'm going to turn this around. I can't see too far. So here's the little line there. And we want 1/2 inch, which there's no thingy there. So we gotta go like where the groove mark is. So we're gonna go right here. Then we need to do another 1/2 inch from there. And that works out. Like that. Kind of a little bit bigger. Alright, so I figured out what I did wrong. So instead of measuring from this, measure from these little dot thingies, because that's where the groove line's going to be. So I measured from here 1/2 inch, and that would put it at this groove line, and then another 1/2 inch over would put it at this groove line. So I marked it with pencil so you can see. Our first one was 1 inch, then 1 1/4, and then 1 5/8, and then wait, is that right? So 1 1/4, and then from 1 1/4 we did 1 3/4 actually, and then we did it at 2 1/4, and then we did it at 2 5/8, and then we did 3 1/8, and then 3 5/8. So we'll just keep going. So the next, this is the first fold, this is the second fold here. Now we are going to do 5/8 of an inch wide from the next line. So we're going to bring our ruler over here at that last dot and go 5/8, which is, here's a 1/2 and then here's a 5/8. So we're going to do it right here. Let's just double check that. 1/2. 5/8. Yep. So we will go ahead and score that. I'm just drawing the pencil line so you guys can see where I've scored. And then we're going to do our 1/2 inch again. So here's 1/2 inch and here's 1/2 inch. So here is our next fold. We're almost there. Alright, so now we need to do 1/2 inch wide. And that marks it right here. And then we do our 1/2 inch again. Right there and right there. If I use this ruler, I get all confused. Alright, and then there's our next fold. Okay, then we got another 1/2 inch over, which is right here. And then we got to do 2 more 1/2 inches for the next fold. Here's our next fold. Then the next one is 1/4 inch, which I can tell right there. This is 1/4. Got that down. And this is our edge. Alright. We'll probably trim some of that off because we don't need it all. And we said we needed to do 9.5, which makes sense because that's how much we would trim off. Sorry, I'm making everything fall right now. So I can do that real quick. Right quick. So we're going to do 9.5. Figure that out later. So now we see all of our fold marks where we're going to fold. And you always fold the mountain in. So you see the grooves, these are the mountains. And you fold those in like this. Right? And then this would be your edge. So let's fold that in. We're just folding like that. See? We're just going to fold it to make it good. And then we'll come in with the bone folder and then fold that too. So I'm just going to fold every one of these ones that we marked. That'll be our signatures. We'll fold them in like that. And there we go. Now I'm going to take some tape. I'm using the 1/4 inch tape here. And then we're going to flip it over on the other side. And we'll know, okay, so this is our mountain. This is our mountain. This is our mountain. Where's our other mountain? There's our mountain. And this is our mountain. So we got to put tape on that side. And I will put it towards the edge. That's the edge of the crease. Right? A roller somewhere around here. Or not. And we'll go to our next edge. This is just, we're just putting it on every edge of the crease here. So we'll put one right here, and right here, the edge. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure which edge I'm using because I messed up. Yes, I messed up. But we learn and we fix it, right? So now I'm gonna varnish this down. And I'll take this off. Try to get out somehow. And then I can fold that one in. Varnish it down. And then the next one. Put that one in. There we go. And then the last one. And this is what you end up with. You have these things that stand up, and we're just going to get them down so they're like easily turned like that, and those will be where we're attaching our signatures to. So this side we need to turn over. Just so it's getting used to turning its pages. All right. This time you can take your eraser and erase all of your pencil marks. Well, that would just be me since I don't think you guys would be putting pencil marks on there. It doesn't matter on this thing because that's not going to be showing anyway, but this I'd rather not have pencil marks on. then we are gonna do the back side and make it all nice and strong with some either tie-back tape or the bookbinding cloth tape. You can glue cloth onto it, regular whatever you got around, to just make this part more stronger, because we are going to be putting the elastic on here, so it's going to get some tear on, or wear and tear on it. So we're going to need to make that stronger. There's her. But I am going to use this. Sorry, check amongst yourselves. As Gail would say. If you don't know already, Gail is a lady that I watch. She makes lots of journals too, and so yeah. So I'm just gonna do across this way first to get the edge nice and good. So sticky. Do this edge first. So just do the edges, that's totally fine too, because yeah, you don't really need to do the inside, but I'm gonna go the extra and do extra and do it. So this will last a good while. Ugh. This tape is so strong. So there you have it. Nice and strong. And if you want to decorate the insides, you can do that too. Get some tape. Got my washi tape here. Let's see, what do we want to use? Butterflies. It's gonna go good. This one can go good. This will go good. Maybe one more size. I think I have a pink right here too. It has a sequel in there. What else we got? I think we're just gonna go with those ones. Because they go most with the color. We can use this too. They go most with the pages that we have. Maybe not this one. Unicorns. These are more of a trick or treat. Yeah. We are going to use those ones. Just to throw off some colors, and this color is in there as well, but we do have this polka dot one. I think I'd rather use a polka dot one. Right? That'd be cute. Alright, let's do that. This aside for a moment. Alright, let's do, I need our glue, because this regular tape on there is not going to make it stick, so let's do that, that one, and then this one, and then this one again. That sounds about right. Okay. Run it through. Whoopsies. Edge. Why I put my scissors away when I'm just going to use it again. Could go just do it to the back, but figure this out. I think I'm just going to do it to the back. Oh man. Is this one? It actually fits really well inside, so I'm just going to fold that one over. Pretty. Now this is something I didn't do on the other one, so this is extra. It's going to be exactly in the middle. That's okay. Such gluey fingers. Alright. Now we're going to use this one again. Last one. This one. You always get better by the last piece. Oaky dokily. I'm going to keep these tapes out in case I want to do any little thing in the book with them and they would be matching. In case. Alright, so we've got our thingamajig, and then we're gonna get it ready to put in the book. Let's see. I have this 3/8 tape, and I'm gonna put it at the edge. Yeah, that will do. All right, let's go on here. So you want to put it at the edge of the mountain. And we're not going to worry about it being straight on these edges because we cut off those edges. I'm going to do it on both sides. So quiet now that the laundry isn't going, right? Weird. So I'm watching this new, well, I was watching Nurse Ratched, but I don't know, I'm not getting into it. And it makes me feel kind of like weird. I don't know, it's weird. I like it because, well, I wanted to watch it because like of American Horror Story, but uh-oh, we ran out of tape, you guys. It's okay. We'll just go back to this one. Because of American Horror Story, and I like American Horror Story. But we're gonna need a tiny one to make that all good. I'm gonna use this red tape. This is from, what's this called? Tuesday Morning.